All right, there. Welcome to another edition of Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. I'm DJ Impact, and it's good to be on. I'm doing a little bit of something different here. I most of the time I'm with the guys, but you know what? The good thing about having access to going live anytime is I could do that, right? And I probably won't be on this coming weekend just because it's Easter and all. But man, a lot's been happening this week. Of course, coming off of WrestleMania, I was there night two because it was for myself the most important night. Okay, this is where we got a chance to see the Tribal Chief and Cody Rhodes go head up, and this is what I was most excited about. I'm just being real. I know that now that there's two nights, there are people that's going to say, "Hey, I like one night versus the other night." It's whatever. I mean, the show overall was good, but if I had to choose and do it all over again, I would still choose night two because that was the match to see. Man, it was on fire, and I was just happy to be there to witness that. But listen, despite that, I mean, that's just my case. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. I do have a guest with me, man. He's actually a local Las Vegas comedian here in town. He watches wrestling as well. I don't know what his take is. We talked a little bit about it, and when I heard it, I said, "Listen, you got to come on the podcast because I feel I'm going to have one of those moments of tell me you just didn't say that." And I think that's what's going to happen. Let me bring him in. Robert Bosoleri, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. I'm living the life,
So you actually enjoyed that program.
How did I not enjoy that program? How did you not enjoy that program? Dude, it was electric. And I'm not trying to use one of the Rock's words.
The only way that program was electric is if you stepped on an open live wire in a puddle outside SoFi. Then it was electric. That program, first of all, and I said this, and I don't know how PG your show is, so I'll try to be.
You can say whatever. Yeah.
So my question for you is, what do you think they gave Cody?
Well, in terms of pay?
No. I'm saying KY or Astroglide.
Why do you say that, man?
He got molested. Listen. He got molested by Triple H because he got molested by Triple H. And I will say this. The match itself, well, let's focus on the main thing, right? That's the elephant in the room.
Sure.
The match itself was well executed on both ends. Both competitors performed well. They did not phone it in. Everything they did was good.
Yeah.
What was surprising was at the onset, when Cody was announced, he got a big pop, but there were boos. There were a handful of boos. You could hear it. You saw him go like this. He did the old bird look that the wrestlers do when they get shocked, when they don't get the pop they thought they deserved.
Right.
The Rock started doing that. He did that, and I went, okay, because obviously there's going to be a lot of people who are not sports entertainment fans. They're all around wrestling fans who have watched him at AEW. And if you're like me, who watched a lot of AEW, I looked at what Cody was doing in WWE, and I went, you really didn't learn anything. You went right back to the American dream because you never were a nightmare. You were only a nightmare in Impact Wrestling. It was the only time you tried to be a heel, and you weren't good at it. So you've been doing the ultra baby face. You kissed a baby. You went over to John Huber's kid, -1, if you're an AEW fan.
Right.
High five the kid, gave him your belt.
Yeah.
You hugged your wife. I mean, this was syrupy. It was like he was going off to war in World War II. All right, we're going to see Mr. Rhodes go off and fight the good one. And that's what we were promised. And they did every trope in the match.
What do you mean? What were we promised?
I shouldn't say promised. We got swerved, definitely. I think it was a swerve. The best way to describe what happened to him in a PG kind of being fair way is we were kind of swerved.
Listen,
Because
I went into this match saying it doesn't matter to me who won. Okay, if either one, I'm okay with. And most people kind of had that opinion because we like both characters, we like both wrestlers, we like what they do. So I don't see how anybody.
This is why.
Cody's moment.
This is why. Forget about Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
And forget about Roman Reigns. This is the best work Roman Reigns has done ever. In these last 3 years, they dialed him in. Now, does that to say that I think he's at the same level of his cousin, Dwayne Johnson? No, he's never going to be that good. He doesn't have his moves are not electrifying. They're not quick moves. Everything he does is kind of slow. He's methodical. He's more like a Triple H wrestler, and that's not my thing, but that's okay. I get it.
Okay. For starters, when Roman Reigns does some of his moves, especially the guillotine, I think that's pretty effective.
Love it. No,
and his move set had nothing like that.
No, his move sets, they are slow. It's not electrifying, but it's good. When he put the guillotine on people, when he added that, because he didn't always have that.
That's true.
I love that. Yeah. I love the guillotine because he choked out Daniel Bryan with the guillotine.
Yeah.
Now, dumped him on Edge. That, by the way, was the most savage in his entire career. He never did anything better than that, and I think that's a compliment. Yeah. Aligning himself with Paul Heyman is great because Paul Heyman put him over, and then Roman Reigns was able to get the little push and start to speak on his own. Great. But Roman Reigns beat everybody of worth in the company. So you bring in Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes takes on Seth Rollins. He gets injured, but he finishes. He comes back, and you're like, well, this is it. And the people I'm talking to are like, well, he's got this contract, you see. And in the contract, it's owed that he's going to get the belt because he's only coming back on those terms. Okay, it's believable, but I don't want to get invested in that because I know that you cannot have the bloodline walk away with everything. That would be boring. And I looked at it night one, and I went, okay, this was another well-executed match. But now, do the Usos get involved in Roman Reigns' match to save face? No, they didn't. And I was surprised. And then they did at the end. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart there. They did at the end, but it was quick. It was like in and out.
Right.
It was mostly Solo Sikoa. And he gets booted out for that obvious slap. Now, I would have liked to have seen him take the belt from Huber's kid, because why didn't they show that? If we're going to be heels all the way. Show him wrestling the belt off from the kid, because he just boom. It's like he just had it. It was like materialized in his hand like Star Trek. He just thought of it and ding, he had the belt. And I'm like, well, where did he get the weight belt? Okay, fine. Yeah. And the slap was obvious. The reaction from the ref. The whole match was well orchestrated the whole way around. Yeah. I loved it. Now the end comes, and it's not that the end was bad. It was that the decision was poorly made, because you have screwed Roman Reigns just as bad as you screwed Cody Rhodes, because Roman Reigns came out to Raw the next night with nothing to say. There's nothing he could say that you haven't heard before. There's nothing that Paul Heyman could say that you haven't heard before. They were bored to tears, and it shows. I'm a salesman and a comedian by trade.
Right. But listen,
I have nothing to say that you haven't heard before, what am I going to say to you? Ma'am, I want to sell you this brand new 85-inch TV. And by the way, don't forget the warranty, our extended guarantee. And the customer looks at you and goes, oh, here we go. I've heard this before. If I go to if I go on stage and I do a hokey joke and I go, Donald Trump is the worst guy ever. Tremendous, blah, 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 blah. And half the people are going to go, you did a good Trump. The other half the people go, yeah, but so you and 9,000 other people.
Right.
Roman Reigns won. Okay. You said he was going to win, Paul Heyman. Roman said he was going to win. Now it happened. Now I need something new, and you have nothing new to offer me. And
I mean, listen, the first thing is, I mean, when he came out, he was there, if anything, just to gloat, to say that, hey, I have now just beaten everyone. And quite frankly, he should have just said, look, I'm just going to take a break from wrestling with the belt.
Right. Okay? So you want him to go full Brock Lesnar.
Hey, whatever. But what you have is Cody deciding to come out and now put another challenge on him again. The bottom line, though, is that having Cody chase the belt is, to me, a better storyline than just automatically giving it to him. We know that your boy TK, Tony Khan, whenever somebody new comes in, he's ready to throw everything to him. Why?
Now, you're right there. You're right.
Let
But
Cody work for this. I mean, look, if he would have not gotten injured and worked that entire 9 months he was out and then came up to Mania, he more likely would have gotten it. But dude, he hasn't done that much work since he's been back. He's going to get it.
this is my problem with that. I don't disagree with the aspect of working for it. What I disagree with is he was never going to get a bigger night than that. You're never going to give him a better night than that. So whenever he does win the belt, I just won't care because it won't hit as hard as the stage of the Immortals. They took that from him. And here's the other thing that
I
was
don't know if I
telling.
agree with that. Cody's going to stay hot for a minute. In fact, from my understanding, and I don't know, I just heard, from my understanding, when it comes to his sales, apparel, whatever they call it, apparently he's number one. So I don't think he's going to lose that momentum, and especially not now after him being attacked again.
Well, now here's the problem. This is where they screwed up. The way I look at it is the Monday night after WrestleMania is the most important Raw. And I was excited. I was leaving work. I didn't want to go to any stages, didn't want to be booked anywhere, did nothing. I wanted to watch this show because it's the show where new people are debuted.
Sure.
And I'm hoping for Bray Wyatt. No Bray Wyatt. Okay. Uncle Howdy. No Uncle Howdy. Okay. Randy Orton. No Randy Orton. Okay. Maybe Jay White from New Japan. Nope. No Jay White either. No Jay White either. Okay. Maybe Sasha Banks. Nope. No Sasha Banks. What we got was Matt Riddle, who beats up on The Miz. And I'm sick of Mike Mizanin. He's garbage, and I'm not saying he's garbage because kayfabe and I'm a mark. I'm tired of watching him walk out in some ridiculous over-the-top suit to get his head kicked in. He's actually a good wrestler. To have him constantly be a jobber like this, it's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. He's a high-class jobber, and it doesn't make sense unless he's saying, hey, Maurice, I don't want to get injured. I don't want to put my body through a lot of physical exertion. I've got a newborn, whatever. That's to decide. So you presented a Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania with no new exciting content. You brought out Bad Bunny, and you had a run-in with Bad Bunny, and it's going to be Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio in Puerto Rico fighting against the Judgment Day, and Bad Bunny will do a Canadian Destroyer on Dominic. Dominic's going to be the Latin Miz. Fine. Good. Everyone goes crazy. Ole, ole, whatever the hell. See. Great. Don't care.
Yeah.
This was about Cody Rhodes, and this is where they screwed up multiple times. First of all, if you want to say Triple H had nothing to do with this, it was that Cody didn't have the time. Let him build up some steam. Whatever. What does Triple H do? He gives this hokey, rah-rah speech and tells us everything's going to be all right. If you're going to come out and tell us everything's going to be the same as it was, don't come out in a suit and do the corporate Triple H theme, bow down to the game. Come in your time to play the game music. Come out in your D-Generation X stuff. Say that was an amazing night. Why in the hell would you come out? Look, let's break the fourth wall. Let's break kayfabe. You and I have day jobs, right? How crappy is it when somebody comes in a polo shirt from a corporate company and goes, hey, here's a pizza party. Now, let me tell you, we're going to cut some things back, but everything's going to be just like it was. It's obnoxious. Anytime somebody from corporate comes to tell you everything's okay, it's probably not. So the fact that he came out there to give that same tired speech, together, forever, always, that's the same speech Vince McMahon got to the SmackDown audience before he got kicked out for the NDA. The last time we heard them read off those lines was Vince McMahon got in a SmackDown ring a year ago and said, "Together forever, brah," and he was gone the next day. So don't read that off to me because it's got a bad connotation to it. Don't make a reference to Endeavor or anything of the like. If everything is the same, then you don't need to say it.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure you could just ignore something as big as that taking place, man. You have to say something.
But don't open up the show with it. Don't open up the show with it.
I mean, at what time? At what point are you going to mention it if you don't open the show?
If everything's the same, I don't need to know. And that's the way I see it. Now, here's the thing where he also did something a little weird. Triple H goes over and gives pound to Roman Reigns. I didn't screw over Cody.
Look at you. And by the way, that's because Triple H didn't screw over Cody. I think you're trying to make it seem as if he's got something personal against Cody. And if Cody, I think, really felt that way, I don't think he would put up with it. Okay. He didn't have to put up with it before. He don't have to put up with it now. I can tell you one thing. Cody's paycheck is looking quite great. His fans have quadrupled from where it was with the other company. And I think Cody's doing just fine. So this whole thing of you believing that Triple H is somehow giving it to Cody, it just sounds like a Tony Khan type of.
You know what? First things first, I screwed up and I have a spare mic. I'm embarrassed. No. Here's why I'll say that. You don't get an opportunity to make, as embarrassing as me just fumbling with this mic. Can I rewind that? No, I can't rewind that. I did that forever. I looked foolish right now. I looked goofy. I can't rewind that. You cannot rewind WrestleMania 39 2 months from now if Cody washes out, or 3 months from now if Roman Reigns literally has no one to fight. You can't go, whoops, we screwed up. Let's go back in time and fix that. You can't do it. So you have to think long term. If Cody Rhodes wins and faces everybody that Roman faced along the way, along these 3 years, if Cody does that, it's all new, because I haven't seen Cody go up against these people. So if they want to have a feud with Cody and Bobby Lashley, cool, it's new. If he wants to feud with Drew McIntyre, who looks shredded as all hell, great, it's new. Anything we get is fresh. Whereas Roman Reigns, unless you do something dramatic, it's not fresh. And what's the first thing that happens?
Well, maybe they don't have right now. Maybe there's a possibility in terms of where Roman goes after he loses that title. Maybe that's not a decision they know right now. So,
that's my thing. You have unlimited choices with Cody as your champion. He's over. You have a new company who bought the place, right? Everything is new and fresh. Nothing you do with Cody as your champion can be bad right now. Everything you do with Roman can go bad because it's been done to death. Most stables don't go on for 3 years. Most factions don't go on that long. Aces and Eights from Impact Wrestling was like a year and a half, and they were great. When they were over, they were over. NWO went on for way too damn long, and then it was NWO Wolfpack, NWO for life, and on and on and on. And that was the only faction. Degeneration X went off and on and off and on and off and on. But now you've got your wrestlers are not on the same page, and I'll say what I mean by this. You got Jay Uso, and you've got Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso never got his body back into shape after getting injured. He's always wearing the T-shirts. He looks a little out of shape. He doesn't do the same high-flying moves that he did before. He's got more of a ground game. Jey Uso looks like he's shredded out of his mind. They've used him to the moon. He probably needs a chance to rest. They probably both do. Cool. You gave that to them. And they did this. They're doing this kayfabe already where Paul Heyman's like, you know what? Why don't you just get on the jet? There's seafood. and the two guys go, oh, Brad, I'm going to do that. Oops. Gone.
Yeah.
Gone. And now you're gonna burn Solo Sikoa out, who started the game with 2 Stone Cold knee braces. So I don't know how long you can use him before you wear him out. Roman Reigns, they used him wisely. He doesn't have to wrestle every week. Got no complaints about that. They've used him very wisely. He's been a fighting champion in a sense. He's not.
Well, I think this, man. The bottom line, they want
nothing left.
They want to get him over into that 1,000 days, right? Of being champ. Which, hey, why not? Okay, why not? He has served being champion. You see what he's done for the business during the time where we actually didn't know what was going to come out of this, business when we had it come out of COVID. And the bloodline was the most entertaining thing that we had consistently that everyone just bought into. I think you have to be very smart on when you decide you want to kill this storyline. And
may I ask you a question with regards to the bloodline?
Yeah.
You take Paul Heyman out, and you take out Sami Zayn's mix in the bloodline over last year. Is it as good as it could have been? With that, they can't do it. They could not do it without Paul Heyman. Number one,
right,
and number two, Zayn injected new life into that story.
Sure,
he invigorated it and became, Sammy Uso. When he said, "Oh, you're not acting very Usy right now," I lost it. I was like, this storyline got interesting again, and now he's got the belt. And I'll be honest, him and Kevin Owens is boring. No one's cheering for him. They're cheering for Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens is just there. And Kevin Owens' whole thing, even when he was Kevin Steen, real name, Ring of Honor, and if he's not doing hardcore matches, he's kind of boring on the mic. He doesn't have a lot of mic appeal. Whereas Zayn, with the conspiracy theory gimmick, with the, all of that, he's almost like a Jericho. He finds a way to keep himself relevant.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's very dynamic. Now, he's got the belt. If they don't have somebody real good to go against him, what I'm hoping happens is that the Usos will get pissed off and go, you know what? We want our belts back. Go after them. Maybe do a rubber match. Whatever. I think it would be entertaining. That's the only way I can see this entertaining. As far as Roman is...
No, the reality of it is the Usos eventually need the cost Roman the belt. Because Roman, when he does get defeated, and he will, and then most likely will be by Cody, it just can't be a straight up 1, 2, 3 pin.
No.
Okay. So it's got to be something, and they have, even before they lost the titles, been teasing the idea of Jay not really being happy and his cousins not paying him no attention.
Yeah.
Now we see they didn't need neither one of their help on Monday. So the way it's looking, the way it should be, is that eventually the Usos are just going to get pissed off at their cousin and cause that. Now, that is a better storyline, because now you can sort of continue the bloodline, but now it's a rift within the bloodline, which by the way, they did that when they did that earlier when Roman fought Jay, kind of in the beginning of the whole bloodline thing. But
now here's what I'll say about that. The way I see it, you're on very thin ice now. Because, again, without giving Cody the belt, Cody's unlimited choices. You can go in any direction. You can screw it up, but you have unlimited choices with Cody as your champion. With Roman, it's almost like you're on a tightrope walk. You're walking from one side to another on a very thin rope. because you have way more opportunity to screw this up. Yes, he could lose. You're not going to defend. He's not going to defend his belt at Backlash. We got that idea. I don't want to see it at anything except for maybe SummerSlam, and WrestleMania is now too far off.
Mhm.
So you're not going to make Cody wait a year. That's stupid. You can't squeeze another year of stories out of the bloodline. But if you can hold out to SummerSlam, which is 5 months off, 4 months off,
which by the way, I doubt this is going to happen, and I'm not even entertaining the thought anymore, but because so many people's been wanting The Rock to interject into, and I don't think it's going to happen. But all I'm saying is this: if it does happen, you've now prolonged the bloodline storyline even longer, and without a belt, because you don't have to have a
all
belt
right.
at all.
So the
just
only
saying
way
that-
I would be happy with The Rock, there's only one way I would be happy with The Rock doing it. I would want to see Roman Reigns run his mouth and say, I'm the biggest guy ever, blah, 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 blah. I'm even bigger than The Rock. And then a week goes by, or he does it on Raw, SmackDown shows up, and Roman Reigns says it again, and then Dwayne Johnson shows up. But if he does it, I don't want this hybrid bullshit. I want The Rock, not Dwayne Johnson, not sunglasses off, thanking the crowd for watching his movie, The Scorpion King Part 2, or whatever I don't want, or Fast and Furious Part 99.
I'm sure he would be in character, The Rock. I don't think he's going to go.
Well, no, because the last few times he would break character. He would weave in and out, and he would go, I just want to say thank you. And I'm like, no. The Rock speaks in third person, sir. You're an actor. Act like The Rock. Watch some old highlight reels. Okay? I don't even care if you got ring rust. I can deal with a little ring rust. You can write that into the storyline.
Yeah.
Okay? What I mind is you're probably not going to do it. Dwayne Johnson doesn't need the money. Dwayne Johnson can make Black Adam 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, he doesn't need the money. And he's getting older. He wants to run for office too. He doesn't need any of it. So,
I mean, that's true. That's true. And like I say, I don't think it will happen, but if for some reason it does, it will continue to bring that light.
Yes,
because now, you know, you have another family member who's now saying, yeah, are you the true tribal chief?
Oh, of course. And easy.
Yeah, and
It
that
writes
you can run that for a minute. And who knows?
What does Paul Heyman do? What does Roman Reigns do? How long do we keep do we put the belt on The Rock? Does he want it?
Right.
Would he care? Do they split the brothers in half and each one takes a brother? I mean, you could do that too.
They can. It's so much, but that goes back to the point of that's the reason why I don't think it was important to give Cody this belt now, because
the reason why
they need to continue to work out how they're going to land. This has been a great flight, right? When you are a pilot and you have a flight of 180 passengers, and you've now gotten that flight 30,000 feet in the sky, and now you've gone your 13 hours and everything was smooth.
And then you remember you booked a flight on Spirit and Triple H is at the helm, and Triple H is going to himself, you know what, that little son of a bitch, he smacked my throne. Time to play the game.
No. Right now, they're in that position of figuring out how to land that plan smooth.
Well, no, they didn't land. What they did was,
I think they did it. That was what they did.
This is what they did. They took the plane, and they're going, we've got a flight, and the flight's going from L.A. to Madison Square Garden. We're going from L.A. to New York. Now we can make Cody win, and we'll have all the unlimited new fresh storylines, and Roman Reigns could make it a rubber match with Cody, and the bloodline can go through their roller coasters, and Paul Heyman could be on the fence about did he back the wrong horse, and we have that easy peasy, easy bake oven storyline, and then Cody can face whomever he wants to. But now we don't know if we're going to get The Rock. We have no idea. So we're assuming, and that's the problem. Triple H said, "Whoa, we're not going to go to New York. We're going to stop at Chicago. It's good enough." You took the second best. You went second city with it. You went, you know what? This is safe. I have enough fuel to get to New York.
Well, look,
stop at Chicago.
We don't know, because just because they haven't brought out, did bring out anybody else for Monday night,
that was the big problem. You're supposed to.
That's true, but maybe that's still not to say that they're not going to bring somebody else.
We're gonna have Riddle fight him, bruh. And Riddle, by the way, came out there looking like he'd been eating pop brownies for 9 months straight with a little flabby gut. and Brock Lesnar came out there looking like a parachute just landed with his whole upper body waving in the wind. I mean, all of these guys look out of shape. They don't look like they're in fighting form. They don't. Riddle did.
Well, as long as they can still perform the moves, and they can. I haven't seen anyone not able to connect.
Lesnar's upper body looked deflated. He looked like he was like somebody was pulling the air out. He didn't look like he was in top form. He was giving F5s to Cody everywhere. We've seen it a million times with him and Cena over the years. It's easy to forget that Lesnar's in his mid-40s or pushing 50. I mean, do I care? And Lesnar doesn't. What I'm thinking is this, and this is how much thought I'm going to put into this.
Okay.
I'm assuming that Lesnar was paid off by Paul Heyman as a mercenary. And Lesnar comes out and he's like, yeah, Paul gave me money, and now I can go back on the farm and shoot some ducks and milk some cows, and I don't want to wrestle anymore. I'm just going to beat up Cody. And that might be it. Because you're not going to say, oh, wrestler's just a wild lunatic. That's like, well, what? Come on. The problem I have with all of this stuff, we're giving Roman Reigns the belt was a good idea, was Monday night needed to be spot on the best Raw after WrestleMania, and it was the worst Raw after WrestleMania.
Well, let's just remember what makes Raw the best after Mania a lot of times has to do with the
fans.
And I gotta tell you, LA was just not, they wasn't as hype, man.
Now,
I don't know as to why, because let me be honest with you. The way most Raw start, without you even knowing what the rest of the show is going to be.
Oh, the people are electric.
You come on the air hype, and that wasn't the case.
AEW, WWE. I've been to GCW matches. I've been to Impact matches. I've been to house shows. People are off their chair, out of their seats cheering. When Roman Reigns got out, you heard a Roman sucks chant, which was fake, because the audience wasn't saying it. If you listened, you hear Roman sucks, Roman. You literally hear, just like I got the fader right there, you heard somebody do one of those, and they did it rapidly. They did it rapidly because the sound of Roman sucks chants went from a little mouse in the background, and then it blasted. So whoever did it flicked the fader, and they did it in a mad dash because the audience wasn't responding at all. There were one signs in the air.
What you're saying in terms of the fader? You're saying that they
literally put a Roman sucks boo track on because no one was responding. The audience was dead.
I don't know if I agree with that, man. I'll have
listen to it. Listen back to it. You will hear this. You will hear this. There's two things, and you can't argue it because the first thing you hear is Roman sucks. Roman sucks. And then the idiots screwed up on the volume of their canned booing, and then they pan to the crowd, and the crowd isn't booing. They're just deadpan. The crowd's like this. You could see the crowd is not saying anything. They're not saying. There's none of that. A third of the crowd were like this, giving them the one. And I'm like, all right, now you screwed up because the volume was stupid, because you're not going to have a live audience on an individual. You're not going to have an individual feed for the live audience. There's not an individual set of mics under everyone's chair.
I know that WWE have used tracks, and before, on our show we've talked about it, but
they did it last night.
I didn't remember hearing.
They did it last night.
But I'll rewatch that. Let me just ask you this, man. Where do we go? Where do you think now? Where we at with Roman having the title, and now we see that Brock is now attacking Cody. Where do you see either one of these are going to go?
Brock is beholden to no one. He's not going to be in the bloodline. Roman Reigns will have paid him off. Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns will pay him off. You'll find maybe a backstage vignette where Paul Heyman just gives him a butt ton of money and just goes, "My tribal chief would like to extend his warmest and sincerest thanks for all of your hard work. Here is a check."
But why would we assume that Cody was going to come back out not only to confront Roman, but to ask for another shot? Because there's nobody that ever comes out and asks for another shot after
this was dumb. This was what was also dumb about it. Okay, you're Cody Rhodes. You're the man. You're the man. And you got screwed. Everyone saw you got screwed by Solo Sikoa.
Right.
Everyone saw it. So you come out and you go, "Hey, you know I had you." And what is Roman Reigns with his limited, and I'm not saying he's got a limited vocabulary, but with his limited on the cuff, quick thinking goes, "Nah, man, you ain't never had me." Oh, wow, that's a great retort, but he doesn't have to give a retort. He's a champion. So he goes, "Yeah, you never had me." And then Cody Rhodes goes, "I want a rematch." Hold on, let me say this. Suffering stuck attached. "I want a rematch because you schooled me at WrestleMania," because, that lisp is insane. And he goes, "I want to
tell me you just didn't say that."
Oh, God, come on, man. MJF made fun of Cody's lisp because he's got a bad lisp. Him and
sure,
Lashley has a lisp too.
Yeah, true.
Not as bad, but Cody, oh my God, when an S word comes up, you're like, "Oh no, come on. No, don't make him say WrestleMania. That's not right. He can't say that word." WrestleMania. I'm like, oh, come on. Be very, very quiet. He's hunting S's. So Cody Rhodes says, "I want a rematch."
Okay.
Great. What do they say? No. Well, then he goes, "Okay." Now, the audience, by the way, how I know that they phoned in the Roman sucks chants, the audience starts saying, "Roman's scared." And when they said the Roman scared chants, it wasn't as clear as the Roman sucks chants, because the Roman sucks chants went from a mouse to a lion in seconds. The Roman scared chants were consistent, and they were not that loud. You could hear them in the distance, and they were steady. So that's how I know in a matter of seconds, I'll give you an example. Katy Perry was at the Super Bowl a few years back, remember?
Yeah.
Okay. She goes, "All right, everybody, who's ready to party?" And her voice echoes. Then they played her music, and it sounded like it was right off the CD, right off the MP3. Why? Because she was lip syncing. We know they lip sync.
Sure.
And I remember I was listening to Howard Stern. He goes, "Look, if you're going to lip sync, don't have her speak first, because now we know what her voice sounds like live." So, and then everything sounds like a studio recording after that. You screwed up. Right. WWE did that on Monday night. We heard a Monday night pre-recorded Roman sucks chant from well before the Bloodline, because think about it. When have you ever heard somebody say Roman sucks during the Bloodline? Never. No one's been saying Roman sucks during the Bloodline. He's been getting cheers or nothing. So now all of a sudden they're going to go back to a chant from years earlier, and it's going to be super duper loud, and it's going to have studio quality. Come on.
Wow.
Once again.
Okay.
I know what that sounds like when I worked in radio. I know when someone's going to do that. When someone's going to pipe something in. Hold on. Roman sucks. Roman sucks. That's what you got on Monday night. And that's what happens when you've got what they
Well, you
call.
also could have had a few people chanting it, and then after a few,
No.
rest of the
You've been in
arena
stands.
jumped in.
You've been in stands, and it wasn't even that. Because first of all, when people are chanting, it's an arena. The guy chanting across from this arena, you don't hear him. So you'll hear the chants will be not in sync because people are not chanting at the same cadence.
Right.
We've all been there, from a small Sam's Town arena when they shoot Impact Wrestling when they come to Vegas, to a large one like SoFi Arena, where people are chanting out of sync. No, this was somebody flipped the switch and raised the level on the Roman sucks chants in the studio, because nothing was being said. When he started saying Roman scared, that chant came in, and you can hear people out of sync, and you can hear it start to gradually gain strength because it was natural. This was the canned laughter, but the booed version
I
of
tell you
that.
what, that seemed like that was definitely an LA issue, and
Yes.
I don't know why LA didn't come hard like that, but it is what it is, man. Maybe
Now,
they'll make a better decision, and after 40 in Philly, just go on and bring that thing right here in Vegas. I'm guaranteed you Raw here would be
first of all, I hope that in a grander sense that we get to 50. I'm imagining there will be a 50 WrestleManias, and
Sure.
it has to be at Madison Square Garden when they do 50.
Sure.
Can't be anywhere else. Number one. Number two, when it comes to Roman's future, if the guy wants to take a break, he's deserved it. I don't know who's going to come to Cody's rescue. It's probably going to be a Solo Sikoa Roman Reigns tag match against Cody and a partner of his choosing in Puerto Rico, and that's fine. Doesn't have to be for the belt.
Wait, you think Roman's going to work the Puerto Rico show?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he's going out there.
Maybe. But he's.
He could, but that's not his. I don't see
He is
another
a brand representative, so
I don't
he's got
see
to
a
make
Roman-
an appearance.
I don't see a Roman match almost until SummerSlam.
I would think
that's a long time, by the way. I mean, you got several
4 months.
pay-per-views, yeah, but
16 weeks.
I don't
32 different shows. 32.
He'll
Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown.
Yeah.
32 shows of Roman Reigns doing nothing.
The bottom line is, if you're going to put him up against, well, he's definitely not going to fight Cody now, because Cody's we know who he's fighting. So whoever who's going to be up, if someone was to fight him between now and SummerSlam, it's just another person that's going to take that L.
Yes.
But what they could do is start working on something big enough to because they need to build SummerSlam to be huge. Once again, we're doing another stadium. They're in Detroit.
Where is it?
Detroit, Ford Field, I believe. So we're talking another 65,000 people. So they need to really build that up. And so right now, I think it's the matter of trying to figure out where that's going to go.
That was my point. By
the way, that could be Cody's moment.
But he will. Well, here's my thing. 2 things.
Because this thing with him and Brock's not going to go long.
No. But here's why I believed once again that it was Triple H that put his finger on the trigger on that one. I was saying, having this conversation with a good friend of mine who's also in wrestling.
Sure.
And I just had a brain fart. No, it was. That was it. I never watched media scrums until AEW. I didn't know there were. I knew they were in boxing post interviews, but I didn't watch them until AEW, and the first famous one that I've ever known. Now, I've seen them in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're boring as hell because Japanese people, their verbiage is just so they're so robotic the way they speak.
Sure.
I lost the match. This makes me very angry. I was disappointed in my performance, and I will work harder next time. Back to you. And it's like, what? Right. And it's just their culture, because I've seen Kenny Omega do interviews in Japanese. I've seen him cut promos in Japanese. He's fluent speaking, and he's still electrifying the way he speaks. He speaks Japanese, but with an American Canadian flair.
Yeah.
Now, what happens? We get the infamous Tony Khan CM Punk scrum. where he goes, yeah, I got to go wasting my time in the fucking back with 4 EVPs. And you're like, and Tony Khan's just like,
Right.
MJF does one, and he's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And you're like, okay, cool. Now they do a scrum, and there's no Roman Reigns. It's Triple H. And they go, why did you not give the belt to Cody? And he goes, this is what he said. He goes, we've been running this narrative, or Cody was running this narrative, that he has to finish the story. This is wrestling. The story never ends. And I went, and we made this choice, is the other thing he said. Because a lot of times, what did Sasha Banks and Bayley say happened when they lost their women's tag team belts the first time to the Iconics? They said, we didn't know we were dropping the belts until they played our entrance music, which is a mind screw to me, because then how do you do a match? And then again, they got more money. They got a ref. He can call moves. He can call plays. I get it.
Right.
He can call spots. I get it. But if that's true, and we could go back to the 97 Montreal screw job, if this is all true, that they can make choices on the fly, and Triple H has to make it a point to say that we made this choice weeks in advance, makes me think to myself, you wouldn't have to say these things. So Cody now being under contract and not wanting to go back to AEW with his tail between his legs, with his hat out going, please take me back. You know, I'll lick Jericho's boots. I'll lick Tony Khan's ass. You know, I don't want to look embarrassed now. I'm not going to go do a 180.
Right.
Because there is no 3-month non-compete clause. You could just, you know, Vince McMahon will take a turn and it will land right in Jacksonville. It goes, you know, Tony Khan will scoop it up. And go, all right, we're going to save this. This is fertilizer. You know, that's fine for Tony Khan.
Right.
But this guy now is probably told at a moment's notice, hey, buddy, you're losing. But I'm going to kiss the baby. You're losing. But John Huber's kid said, you're losing. But my wife's out there, and she used to announce for you. You're losing. And you're under contract for 2 years, asshole. How many times did they say, how many times did they make fun of the Reynolds family? The son of a plumber. Dusty Rhodes never got it done himself. How many times have the McMahons made mention that you're garbage, Cody, that your brother is garbage? So if you really want to do this the right way, you really want to take that bar and elevate it. To me, this was a turd burger you gave us. Okay, I want Triple H to come out there and go, yeah, I screwed him, and I paid Lesnar to beat the shit out of him because that's what he deserved. You don't make fun of me. You don't make fun of my family. You don't leave my company and try to make your own, and you still didn't do as good a job as us. You're always a second-rate player. Your whole family are second-rate players. Your brother never got a title. Your father never got a title. I'm sick of hearing how great you are. I screwed you over. Now get to the back of the line. And then have Triple H make Cody fight his way to SummerSlam and then make it a redemption arc. That, to me, is the only way you can resuscitate this, because I'm not angry at Roman Reigns. That's like a political conversation. People are like, oh, Trump, do you know what you believe what Trump did? No, I'm not surprised, because I'm a New Yorker. I'm 43. I knew what he was going to do. I'm not surprised when it's not a surprise. It's like the line from Batman. Hey, if I tell a bunch of people that I'm going to strap a bunch of TNT to an oil drum, nobody cares, because it was all part of the plan. But if I say that one little mayor is going to get killed, well, then everybody loses their mind. That was what we were told. We were told, hey, man, this is it. This is the story, and it's beautiful, and everyone was promised. Usos came in and got thrown out. Solo Sikoa got ejected. This is the quintessential babyface story, and he's got everything to gain, and Roman has everything to lose from winning, because he has an uncertain future where he's done everything. And the Isle of Relevancy is not Roman Reigns. The Isle of Relevancy is WWE. That's the whole reference all along. The aisle of relevancy is WWE, not AEW. That's the whole thing. So
okay,
that's what the whole point is.
Never thought of that. Didn't see that one. Okay.
That's the aisle of relevancy. He keeps saying it. They made fun of it. Hey, man, you're only here because you weren't over in your own promotion. That's right. He wasn't over in his own promotion because he's doing the same crappy babyface gimmick. That's what he was doing. Hey, I'm going to beat Anthony Ogogo in 2 seconds. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm going to take on Malachi Black, Aleister Black. And even though he's well over and the crowd loves him.
Let me just say this, because I know we're I got the timer on, man. Our time is about to be short, but Cody messed himself up over there for, first off, putting himself in a match where if he loses, he can never be the AEW champion. So, I mean, what are you supposed to go from there? I mean, I don't know. It's just
he fired himself.
Yeah. Anyway, man. Hey, man, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. We'll have you on again, man. You know, I don't watch a lot of AEW because it's just hard for me to just put eyes on it. But I tell you what,
I'm going to watch that right now.
So I'm gonna sit and watch it, and then we're gonna have to maybe discuss what the hell's going on, because I know I'm gonna have a lot of questions and everything for that.
And hopefully Jim Ross won't be on there because, oh God, that's awful.
Yeah.
Hey, he's fast, that kid. Yeah, Jim. He's fast.
Right.
We know Jim.
Yeah, man. He's, oh boy. Anyways, Robert, man, you got anything, man, you want to promote it all? Or
you can find me on Instagram, Rob Bossleri, ROBBOSSCELLARI. Facebook too, Rob Bossleri. I'm in the Vegas comedy scene. Just not this week because I'm doing literally this week, I'm doing nothing but wrestling podcasts.
Okay. There we go.
And I don't want to mess up you, but yeah, why not? Marcus and Robin Marcus Hates Wrestling. Come look at us. Marcus Dietz is also on our, on my podcast. He is a wrestling promoter. He has his own promotion in Las Vegas, and his champion is on the what is it? The MPI wrestling thing, or the WPI, the top 500 wrestlers.
Okay, yeah.
His guy's on there. His champion is on there.
Got you.
And he's some of the people, like he's had on a local competitor, Sandra Moon. She's a local performer, and she's been on every major promotion.
Yeah,
and wrestled men. And
yeah,
just great.
He's awesome. Yeah, good stuff.
And she's been on his promotion.
We'll have to look him up and see what's going on.
Yes, right, I'll tell you when he does the show.
No doubt. All right, Robert, hold on right quick, man. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and happy wrestling to you all.